We ready to roll the beautiful bean footage?
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
All right, I'll do the intro, and then Chad will do the introduction.
We got bean footage?
That's the after show. All right, shut up.
Hey, pass me a beer.
Look, at least promise me you won't drink. Alcohol always leads to trouble.
Hey, who wants to play Drink the Beer?
Right here.
You win.
All right, what do I win?
Another beer.
Just have a cup of coffee.
Beer it is.
Coffee?
Beer.
I'd kill for a beer.
Cheap beer and a sympathetic ear. Step right up.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Beard Hops Podcast. It's a Wednesday evening recording. Regardless of when you listen to it, we're recording on a Wednesday. I'm Chad, and...
Never mind. Go ahead, Chad.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Chad. You're doing
Oh,
great.
see, I almost got all the way through it without you guys saying anything.
You're doing really good.
Down in the other studio is Adam and Jake. How you doing tonight, fellas?
Fantastic.
All right, that's great. So let's move on.
Polished. We are polished.
Tonight we have the badassery guys from
Wow, badassery.
Nerdsense. Nerdsense podcast, nerdsense.net. I've got Michael, whatever he prefers to be called, and
Doesn't
Sean.
matter.
Sean is probably the way you say Sean.
Yes, that is exactly right.
Yeah, how many different ways you want to
Nailed
try
it.
and say Sean? Good job, buddy.
How you doing tonight, guys?
Good, good. Thanks for having us on. Sure.
Thanks for joining us. We don't really have. Normally, we have like a full-on show note kind of thing, but with you guys, we were kind of like, you know what? You guys are fellow YouTubers, podcaster guys, and we were kind of like, yeah, let's just kind of shoot the shit tonight. So,
That's
so,
what we do. That's
so
perfect.
dangerous.
I thought that kind of was nicely themed.
Yeah, we never go into this with any type of script. Anytime I try to have any type of organization, Mike's like, "Nah, we're not going to do that."
All right.
Perfect.
Well, I feel like our best stuff is off the cuff. I don't feel like that we're good at the other stuff. We've known each other for 20 something years. We know each other too well. It comes off too forced, I feel.
Yeah, and that's I think this will be fun, kind of doing it this way tonight. I mean, when we do structured shows, when we're interviewing breweries or brewmasters or brewery owners or whatever it is, we kind of like to have a line of succession of questions, and find out who they are and why they're doing what they're doing. But just kind of a non-structured thing sounded kind of fun tonight. So,
Oh boy.
here we are.
Why don't we go around the horn and what's everybody drinking
It's a
tonight?
shit
Oh,
show.
Jake jumps right in and
Look at him.
takes,
Because Jake's
takes over
Jake's supposed to
my-
I
drink.
saw somebody wobbling.
my favorite
so-
thing to do ever. Thanks, Jake.
I just took your favorite thing away.
All right, Jake.
Well, since I started off, I've been drinking this a lot lately. I had a coworker give me a whole bunch of it, but I have some New Glarus tonight. Two women.
Yes.
Oh, New Glarus is so good. That strawberry rhubarb, I still have dreams about that beer.
Jesus Christ. No, that's a great beer. I completely agree with him.
But
Jesus.
I have not had
It
that.
is good.
Two Women is one of my favorite. That and probably Moon Man are my two favorites that I believe they produce all year, as far as I know.
Yeah, they're all you're right.
So
Yeah.
that is what I am drinking. It is delicious.
Wait, so what kind of beer is it? What's the style?
I don't even know.
What is 2 Women? I don't even know what 2 Women is.
This is the
Just
third or fourth
delicious.
time I've had it. I mean, it
It
gotta
takes
be
it takes a
pale
little bit to
ale?
read. He
I don't know what it is.
Does it
Well-
tell you how long it'll take you to read the bottle like it does in the
I don't
website?
even, I'm not reading all that.
Moon
That's
Man
way
is a
too
pale
much.
ale. I don't think two women.
It doesn't taste like an IPA. Oh,
No,
it's a
no, no.
lager.
Yeah, lager.
It's a lager. I should have known that.
You should have known.
There
that.
you go.
Tastes like a lager.
Tastes like a lager.
A little Christmas. So there's
All right,
a
moving on.
hint of fruitiness.
I'm not drinking.
Two
bad,
women.
Kings and Convicts Pilsner, because that's all they had at the store. They didn't have their IPA, which is really good.
Pilsner.
But yeah,
I am
Chad.
drinking Lakefront Brewery Hazy Rabbit.
That rabbit's good.
that's a good one. Hazy Rabbit's good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good one. It's IPA.
All right.
Sean, Mike, what are you guys up? What do you guys
We
got?
actually coordinated today.
Ooh, look at you guys. See,
Well, at least the first beer we coordinated. We'll see how the rest of it goes. I'm drinking Trillium's Pom Pom Pom. It's their Imperial Milk Stout. It was actually brewed Mike, what was it, last year? Oh, no, right at the beginning of this year in January. They make Pom Pom, which is their just like regular standard milk stout, and this is their like obviously imperialized version of it. It's absolutely delicious.
We got the ABV on that.
Awesome.
10-4.
Ooh, man. Yeah.
he approves.
Adam, let's
I
open
just
something.
spent
that's
3
double
hours putting
digits.
together a swing set, so I deserve this right now.
Yeah, I would be drunk already if I was doing that. But
How much did you swear?
yeah, right. How many times the kids hear that? Mike, what do you got?
We did not coordinate so much. I'm going to be doing a Pom 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 next. But
Oh.
for now, I'm doing a Vortex by Spyglass Brewing. They're a local brewery. They're up the street from me. They do really, really good stuff. And this is a double IPA, generously hopped with Citra, Mosaic, and Eldorado.
I like the can. What do we run there, Mike? We got like a 7.5, maybe an 8.5.
7.6.
Oh yeah, I could smell it.
What are you running? What are you running with those two
Oh,
ladies?
I ain't got shit over here. A lag. I mean, it's probably like I don't know,
I know,
4.5.
This is pretty.
No, I think
5.2.
two women's around 5'1", 5'2", something
Yeah,
like that.
there's no difference between 5.2 and 4 or 5.
All right, I'm gonna have to go get some. I'm gonna have to get some whiskey after this.
It's all the same.
Go bust
Guys,
out the barrel-aged stouts, boys.
Yeah, I know. Right?
I don't know if you guys have listened to any of the shows before, but
Well,
Jake,
and
Jake-
really, why would you?
Jake's session beer started around 9.
Oh, I get
Don't act like that's not true.
I definitely
You
get excited
damn well
when
know
we
that's
get close
true.
to double digits. I generally don't look for anything that's not at
Look,
least
when we
the
do a beer on
mid-7.
this show that is over 10, the table on that end is going up.
Well, that's generous.
you're getting
but
beer
I'm
chub.
definitely excited.
Beer chub.
It's
Yeah,
more
it's
Sean
very
and I
more
are
uncomfortable.
really
girth
into
than
high
length,
ABV
but-
beers. It's only recently that I've been sort of going back to like a lower ABV. It was like I don't know, 20 episodes in a row. We were doing 20 nights in a row. We were doing 3 or 4 like huge high ABV beers, just messing us up.
It
Nice.
literally turns into a race of how many reviews can we do before we look like assholes. All right, we're gonna do 2 triple IPAs and 2 barrel-aged stouts, but if we do them super quick, we'll get drunk by the time we finish the last video. We'll be shit-faced, but they'll look great. And then our wives hate us.
That's awesome. Well, we do have one in the season 1, wasn't it? During season 1 we did that
During
one.
season 1.
Where we did
3 back to back.
Yeah, Chad lives about an hour away from Jake and I. Jake lives across the street, and he drove over for the weekend, and we're like, okay, we're gonna do a whole bunch, just pound them out, man. And we did 3 in one day, right? And they were all barrel aged.
They're all specialty
They're all
barrel-aged
specialty, special release barrel aged beers. And by the time we recorded the 3rd one, we were fucked up.
Yep.
It was I
That
don't think-
episode was fucked
Yeah,
up.
I think
That
the lowest
episode
ABV on
was
that was
bad.
13 and a half,
12.
probably.
we were just giggly ass.
Well, I think we did
girls the whole time.
BCS, right? We did Surly Darkness, I think was one. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
And then
Surly
we did a
Darkness,
Central Water special release one.
We might
Yep.
have. Yeah.
20th anniversary
I
Central
don't know
Waters.
how I
Yeah.
remember that. I was drunk, but whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually just watched your Central Waters. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched a few of the clips of the Central Water stuff. That was a really good episode. Like that was. you
Oh,
guys
the
are
brewery
professional when
visit?
it comes to on sites. It was great.
It was a lot of fun. We
Those are turning out really, really nice.
yeah we couldn't do it before because we had some cheapo microphones, number one, and then our setup was that I would have to take my everything in his room to a brewery. It's like
Yeah.
that wouldn't work. So then we finally bought a Zoom H6 to be able to take somewhere and do like audio record. So
We got to do that too.
Yeah, we've been debating the same thing, buying one. We just gotta bite the bullet and just. It's expensive though, right? Like what are they like $300 now?
was that right?
A little bit more than that,
More
I
than
think.
that,
Yeah,
500
yeah,
something.
between 300 and 400.
Yeah.
And you can plug how many mics into it?
You can do 4, but then you can get an extender on top for like an extra $50. That adds 2 more mic slots to it. So
That's actually not terrible.
No, it's not.
the only time I needed the mic extender was when we went to
Central Waters.
Central Waters, right? Yeah, that's the only
Yeah.
time.
You guys didn't need it at Lakefront.
because they had two brewers there. So yeah,
Nice.
so yeah, it's worked out pretty good, and it's much better than doing beer reviews. I actually like talking to these people and getting the free beer when we go do it. So
Of course.
that's always
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, you guys went to Lakefront. I wasn't able to attend that one, and then we went to Central Waters, and both times the brewers were more than happy one, go in the back and grab something special.
Yeah, they both did.
And two, basically said, have whatever you want on tap now, and it's on the house.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if we would have lived a little bit closer or
We need
not
to-
been driving back from
I need to get my
Amherst,
daughter to drive us from now on. Be a designated driver every time.
we'll pay her. I'll pay her.
Yeah.
Like an Uber.
Yeah, she needs a new summer job.
She does, yeah, definitely.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, where are all these, aren't cars going to be driving themselves soon? When does that happen?
It's called a Tesla.
Yeah, people have been sleeping in them. Like that's been all over the news. It's like that's the latest thing. You could easily just get one and just
Because
go
they can't afford a house after they buy the Tesla.
Wait, what's
So they're
happening?
sleeping in the
They
Tesla.
sleep in their Tesla?
Yeah, there's been like a bunch of
While
videos
driving.
online of like people like
Oh, yes.
sleeping in Tesla driving. Yeah,
If you look that up, there's a video of a
What?
dude. He's like tilted back in his Tesla, and you could tell the dude is zonked.
oh yeah.
Is
And
that
they
one of those things where it stays in the lanes if you're driving and it'll just go straight for...
Well, the Tesla will
It'll go all the way.
it'll drive you.
Yeah, it'll go.
When
It'll
stop
change
at
lanes for
stoplights.
you,
It'll
and yeah,
change.
Bullshit.
Yeah, Tesla will do it all.
My friend Jeff has one out in the Seattle area. He lives in a town called Snohomish, and
What?
drove all the way into
Bless
downtown
you.
Seattle, which is like 33 miles on autopilot. It did the whole thing
the shit, man.
Jesus.
in Seattle traffic.
Is it just... How is it spacing with cars that aren't on the same...
It's got
All the sensors? And then
it's
just
got LiDAR.
GPS?
Is that what it's called? Something like that. It's got some type of it's a radar
Yeah.
thing.
I think you can tell because so with my car, I have like adaptive cruise control. Mike has one, the same car but a year before, but you can like tell it how many how many car lengths you want behind you. I mean, in front of you, and it'll. My car, it's not autopilot, right? But it's just a Subaru, but it'll at least like do adaptive cruise control and it'll brake and accelerate as need be. And you tell it exactly what speed you want to be maxed out at, and then how many car lengths, and it'll do its own thing. It'll also keep itself in the lane.
Will it come to a full stop if you run into like a
Yes.
construction?
Yes.
If you run into somebody, yes, it'll be a full.
Well,
stop.
no, like if the
There
car
was actually one day where it was pouring rain out, and Mike and I were going to a brewery, and he came to my house first, so he got in my car, and we were pulling we were backing out of the driveway, and it must have been like the backup camera must have just couldn't see because the rain was coming down so hard, and the car just screeched to a halt. Both of us were like, "What the fuck just happened?"
The robots are uprising already.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the one.
And
I'm
then a
talking
week
about.
later, I
That's
bought a
what-
similar car.
I don't know why he did the same thing. Well, this car almost killed me. Might as well buy the same
Might as
one.
well buy another one.
I don't know. Am I ready for this? This would
God,
freak
I
me
am.
out.
I definitely am.
I wasn't ready for it. I rented a car in Florida back in January, I think, and I didn't realize this car had adaptive cruise control. And I was going over the big bridge on the south side of Tampa. The car started slowing down and speeding up on its own, and I was blown away. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I'm not doing anything to this car. Didn't realize it was turned on. I thought there was something wrong with it. I pulled off the road. Had no
How
idea.
was it on? Like, because usually you have to like turn it on too. Like, what was the car?
It was a Toyota something. I remember it was a Toyota. I don't know what model it was, but
Cop pulls over. Are you okay, sir? I just can't figure out this car. It's scaring the shit out of me, and I don't know what's happening, officer.
Sir,
I felt like
I just need you to
an
breathe into
idiot,
this.
just a total idiot. After I pulled over and figured out what was going on,
Sir,
I'm
touch
like,
your finger to your
dumbass.
nose and walk this line, please.
Oh yeah, no, it definitely takes them like it definitely scares the shit out of you. Because I remember when I was test driving it, and it's one of my buddies who sold it to me. We're on the highway, and he goes, "Turn it on," and he goes, and he's like, "Take your hands off the wheel, you pussy," and I was like, "No," and like it just
Ryan did this to you?
Ryan did this to me, yes.
Jesus.
And it's like, it's a very scary like thing to like figure. Like I can't even imagine owning a Tesla at this point. Like adaptive cruise control is like where my safe zone is, but like I don't know if I could let a Tesla like just drive everywhere for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want it. That's just a scary feeling knowing that like,
I don't know if that's the right video. That's one of them.
oh yeah, that guy's passed out and his
Yeah.
car's driving.
Yeah, he's watching the video right now.
How much do these cost? Well,
Oh,
fuck.
they're 80 to 100 and more.
Model 3, I think you can get as low as like, if you want front wheel drive, you can get as low as 40,000. I think.
with self-drive.
Oh, I think it's more than that, Sean.
Yeah, even because with the autopilot, and then if you want the bigger
full
battery,
autopilot is an extra 5K,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So it gets
Yeah,
up there.
that's
but
what my friend Jeff had. I drove
if you
it
want a
last
dumb
week.
Tesla, doesn't.
Can I
matter.
sit in the
Yeah, he
passenger
paid like
seat?
48 for it with his options.
I think the Tesla makes you touch the steering wheel periodically, doesn't it? I thought it did.
Yes.
Yeah, because I saw a guy created a phone mount that you can mount on the steering wheel so that the steering wheel will sense that something's there, so you don't have to touch the steering wheel.
Yep. I've seen that.
Jesus Christ.
There's always a workaround.
We're inventing ways not to put our hands on the steering wheel.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
That's like when I
Eventually,
paid.
this is going to be Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Wow.
I still want my hover skateboard.
I just switched over to my Palm. It's a
Hey,
nice,
we even coordinated glasses.
Yeah, we did.
Look at that. Look at that. They got glasses, guys.
No. Well, this isn't our glass. It may look like us.
It
I was
does.
going to say, that looks like you
Let's
guys.
No, so this is actually the guys over at I Drank Beer. The have you seen their channel?
I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know.
They
that
do
one.
more. Yeah, they do. Well, they don't do reviews now, but they do more. They do beer related like fun stuff. They're another channel just like ours in a sense.
Well, that's amazing that glass resembles you guys.
Well, yeah.
Quite well.
Actually, we should probably just start telling people it is.
Yeah, you
'cause, like,
should.
Just go
you're not the
for it.
first people to be like, "Oh, hey, you guys got new glassware." It's like,
I was
but
gonna
yes,
say,
that makes a red beer and a black beer. That makes total sense.
We talked to Draft Therapy last week, and he had his own glasses. And then now you guys have your own glasses. We are so behind.
We do actually have our own glasses, but it's only we only have two in existence. Because have you ever looked at the price of like buying glasses in bulk?
Oh yeah, we were looking at T-shirts, and we're like,
Yeah, we've shopped around for a bunch of shit.
We'll make
Yeah,
our own.
T-shirts aren't too bad in some cases, but like I guess if you're gonna buy, I think the best starting up thing is probably stickers. They're cheap enough to get a shitload of them.
Yeah.
Well, Sean, we only have 5 subscribers, and none of them want our shit. So
That's a valid point.
Yeah, same problem over here. That's all good.
We got stickers, but these are
That's the
these
old-
are old ones though.
that's the
These
old
are
stuff.
before
Oh.
Jake joined us.
those are cool.
Those are awesome.
They're cooler than ours.
BJ.
Yeah, those are way cooler than ours.
Yeah, I have
Oh, what the hell?
have to design a new one with adding this dumbass.
We actually have really cool logos. I mean, that's arrogant to say that, but like we paid someone to make us logos, and they're way better than the ones we designed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I paid someone to do the artwork of that. Yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah, I drew the original Hops beard based on another drawing, and then Adam's friend Mo did all the other caricature kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And
You know,
it turned out great.
This YouTube money, I would think we'd have, be able all this gear with all this YouTube money.
Right?
I mean,
YouTube money is that's where it's at.
It's the same as no money, honestly.
I was expecting to already live like Jake Paul and have a mansion and shit or something. I don't know. That's what I was thinking when I got into this game.
YouTube money won't buy me a 6-pack of Budweiser.
Nope. It won't buy me a pack of bubble gum either. So
A six? Can you buy a 6-pack of? I guess you can for
I have
like
no
what,
idea.
$2 or something like that.
I have no idea.
I don't know. Do they still make it like that?
It's still more than YouTube money though.
They make
I
it
haven't bought a Budweiser product since I was 22 years old. I'm 35 now. I'm just saying.
It might buy you one of those moon beers they just made, right?
Oh, I saw the commercial today. I was thinking about you.
I
The
hate
moon
that
dust
fucking
beer.
commercial. If
Which
you really
ones were
listen to it, they say it's like based on a recipe that we found. So this isn't even a recipe that you found.
Oh yeah.
This is all just legal mumbo jumbo.
It's a recipe out of their vault.
But it's based on a recipe they found buried in their vault. So it's not even the recipe. So it's
What's the
basically
moon
all
have to do with it, though?
bullshit.
Jake,
My vault's in my toilet, so I'm just saying.
don't get Jake started on Budweiser. Ever since he read Barely Stouts and selling out, he gets very upset when he talks
Well,
about
it's not even
Oh, here we
Budweiser.
go.
It's a massive conglomerate of
It's the man.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like we all
What?
well I don't know about you guys. We still buy BCBS every year. Mike and I actually went to the brewery because it's right up in New Hampshire. We literally went to the brewery to drink the orange variant.
Did you?
This year? Because that was the only place we could find it.
Oh no, we've
Like,
gone
let's
to
go.
Oh wait, you went to Chicago?
No, it's a beer garden up in Merrimack, New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, so it was
Oh.
actually at Anheuser-Busch Brewery.
Oh.
Oh.
You bastard.
And by the way, I bought a house that's seriously 4 minutes from there.
Oh.
He did. For that reason, he fell so in love with the brewery, he decided to move right next door to it.
Well, what can I say?
But no, but we literally went up because that's the only place that had it on draft, and we were like, okay, and we got some appetizers. And this is a really enjoyable experience.
It wasn't that bad.
We didn't drink anything else. I promise.
It is good beer.
It
I
was.
I
a
did like the
delicious beer.
orange. I mean, it was like a what?
We visited how many different places to get almost all the variants. We didn't get them all yet.
Yeah, we didn't get the. We didn't get
what
like
did we get? I
proprietors.
mean, we didn't get like
proprietors reserve.
We got the reserve.
we got the reserve.
We got the reserve.
Oh, you guys got the
We
reserve.
got
I
the
haven't had it.
reserve. Yeah,
we got the
we almost got
Where are you
them
guys
all.
located again?
Jake and I are north of Chicago.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense. There you go.
Chad is in
Oh yeah, way
Wisconsin.
better.
I'm in Milwaukee.
Okay.
But even at that, so we've talked about this before. Even when you're close to the brewery anymore, it doesn't
matter.
Especially
We're not
with,
that
especially
far
with those
from
guys.
founders, and it's easier for people farther away from us to get.
Especially with
founders than for
those
us.
guys like Goose. It seems like our buddy in Texas can get some of that stuff before we even see it on our shelves.
Wow.
You know,
More
so
interested in growing their distribution in other places.
see, I told you, we got him started. We need to get off of Budweiser. He's gonna.
I'm just saying.
All right, I'll get the tinfoil. Put that
I
on.
mean, it could be, state by state what their tax law is too. I mean, they probably make more money shipping it to California and Texas.
Oh
I don't know.
God. So
All right, let's before we
okay.
go way too far down this.
Oh, we're
rabbit hole.
down it. We're like
yeah,
in
we're
it.
down
I'm done.
now.
We're fisting it.
But go ahead, try to bring it back. Let's see what happens.
Well, Mike and Sean, how do you guys know each other? And tell us about Nerdsense.
Oh, that's a good call. Actually, we probably should have started with that, but this,
We started talking about
Whatever, it's
Teslas
fine.
and autopilots.
I didn't know about the car. I feel stupid. Go ahead, please.
You should.
Mike, go ahead. I'll let you start out because you always tell the story way better than I do.
So you guys know the difference between tops and bottoms?
Oh boy.
Of what?
Hang on.
Did you almost spit out a beer shot?
It's still in my mouth.
I've heard that before. So,
Jesus. Okay.
all right. No, I met Sean. Jesus Christ. Freshman year of high school, we were sitting on bleachers outside of a pool, and we got talking about the Family Values tour. We had mutual love of like early
Shitty.
like
music.
mid '90s metal.
I remember that.
music.
That
I remember the tour, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I think I had a Rob Zombie shirt on. He had a Korn shirt. And,
Sure.
I don't know. We were
Korn.
friends right away. We hung out right through high school, and I didn't drink throughout all of high school. I didn't start drinking until I was almost 20. And right when I started, it was immediately into craft beer because the reason why I didn't drink is how much I hated the taste of beer. And so Sean and I we were drinking earlier. Like Shakespeare stout and stuff like that, and Sam Adams, and I mean, I don't know, all sorts of stuff. And it gradually grew into this love of beer that's, completely out of control and drains my finances.
Yeah. Drink your finances. Yeah, I get that for sure.
So you bypassed the standard domestic beer and just went right to the craft section.
Yeah, I didn't
That's
like
impressive.
He was drinking.
I didn't like it either, but I drank it because I thought that's what I was supposed to do.
Cosmopolitan mixes, like the Sky vodka, like it would have like the box with like vodka and like whatever the Cosmo mix is, and he would literally come into parties with that and
it is funny.
Guys and just drink. Yeah, go ahead.
It's
sorry.
funny that's how Sean started. But Sean, how did I really start drinking? What was I bringing to the parties?
151.
Bacardi 150.
Yes.
The upscale version of Everclear.
The problem is that I would get so fucked up and no one would want to drink the same stuff with me that I gradually was drinking like stuff that would get lighter and lighter so I wasn't completely obliterated 15 minutes into the parties. And, that's what it is.
Did you ever do shots of 151?
That's all I did.
We did them a lot. Yeah.
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 I
you guys done-
drank almost of a fifth in like under an hour.
I haven't done that. I've done shots of it, but I've never.
Have you guys had straight grain 190?
Oh
Yes.
God, that's
Yes.
awful.
I haven't had it. I've
Oh, you don't want to have it. I remember there was one day I woke up after drinking a good amount of it for most of the night, and I was swatting what I thought were like mosquitoes and flies. And the girl I was with, she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, all the bugs are on. She's like, there are no bugs. I was literally just seeing black spots. It was
Oh shit!
it was so bad. It was so bad. That stuff is don't know. Go ahead.
I went up to a campsite a few years ago, and a friend of mine at the good time, his girlfriend's father, said, if the first day here, you need to do a shot of diesel, and that was Everclear.
Yeah.
So I was like 31.
Yeah.
Doing shots of Everclear. Jesus, that's a
Oh.
17-year-old's
No, thank
name.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That burns.
Jeez.
I think it was okay. I think. I don't really remember, but I'm sure it's fine.
I blacked out and woke up without pants on, but it was okay. It was fine.
Yeah.
So how did the old Nerdsense thing get started?
Sean, you want to take this one?
Yeah. So as Mike said, yeah, we've been friends since we were 14. And then we just started watching. Well, we were big fans of Kevin Smith, and we love his podcast, Hollywood Babylon, Fat Man on Batman, and whatnot. And we were listening to that all the time and talking about it. And then one day we were just like, why don't we just start our own podcast? Actually, it's been so long. I don't remember whose idea it was. One of
mine, for sure.
Jesus
Well,
Christ.
no.
There you
No,
go.
I mean, no, I kept saying we should just do it. And you said, fine, fucking come over. And
Yeah.
you had the iPad ready, and we just started trying to record.
Yeah. At the time, my girlfriend was pregnant, so I have a feeling it was me just being like, I need something to do because I just need something to take my mind off that I'm about to have a kid. This is gonna get scary as shit. But yeah, we literally put the iPad down and we started recording. Just like commentaries for movies, and then that spun into us doing actual podcasts where we just would talk about, as the name is, it's nerdy shit, right? Nerdsense. And then we were doing a podcast for a long time, and every podcast we would review a beer, and then we'd also talk about beer more and more in the podcast, but it would still be more about like movies, TV, music. We actually had a short-lived 2-episode spin-off of our own podcast when we had 0 viewers, where we thought, hey, let's have a spin-off. This is a good idea. Where we just talked music. Yeah, that lasted. And then
We've tried a few of those.
It's a good idea to diversify when you have nobody watching.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we were, and then like I think it was me first that got really big into watching beer reviews, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I was like, we're technically doing beer reviews, like we actually had a few episodes where we actually did legit beer reviews on the podcast, and I was like, let's start recording it. And then that actually took off way more than the podcast, and we were like, okay, let's just start. And we started doing the beer reviews more and more, and the podcast is still alive, but it's, I don't know, the last time we did one was 2 or 3 months. Usually we try to do it for the bigger tentpole movies, or if we're getting bored with videos. But yeah, that's really kind of where it started, where we started with the podcast, and then we like, let's do video. And then the video stuff was also fun for me because I wanted to get more into video editing and, playing around with that type of stuff. So that was really cool. And then, yeah, that's kind of where we are today, where we're pretty much beer reviews, beer-centric stuff, and then occasionally we'll do a podcast.
Well, Sean is skipping over the fact that we would do these podcasts, and we'd be drinking beer, and by the end, I'd either be passed out, or so drunk we're just screaming at each other, and it just devolved into a mess.
Okay, are these available now? Can I listen to those?
Oh, they are. Oh, so well, we decided, I think it was like 3 months ago, we actually took down the first
like 30 or so.
Yeah, they were very. If you guys really want to hear some shit, I can let you guys have access.
They're
down for certain reasons. The audio wasn't very good, and the content wasn't. The content was probably good, but we got
too colorful.
It got pretty colorful.
I want to hear some of the most hammered ones. I will listen if you send that to me. I also want to.
This reminds me.
I'm looking on your site. Can I go back?
You can go back pretty far.
There are some archives.
Yeah, you can definitely go pretty far. You have to go. If you just search the site for, say, like episode. Well, actually, we're pretty high in the beer reviews episodes too. I just went on the website just so I could show you. Hey, Mike, I just realized we still have a link to that spinoff.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't click the listens link. Oh, actually, yeah. If you just click the podcast link, you can then go back in the archive there, and you could probably go through some of them.
There's only a couple episodes I would actually recommend. I think we did a good job on a couple. Most of them are just like they really do devolve into me like.
That's exactly what Jake wants.
Actually, the real reason why Mike doesn't like when I use a soundboard, because a lot of the soundboard clips are just clips from like drunk podcasts.
Honestly, the one I hate the most is that John Cena clip. That's the one I hate the most.
Is the spin-off Nerdsense Listens?
Yes, it's 2 episodes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Don't even bother. It's actually not. There's like no real vulgarity. It's really boring.
What were the movies that you were doing commentary on?
We started.
89.
Yeah, we did Batman 89, Batman 66. Maybe we did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We started to do Clerks as like our 3rd or 4th episode, and we literally got through Clerks and we're like, we love Kevin Smith so much, but like all his movies are just dialogue. You can't like do a commentary for a dialogue only movie. It's like, because you're just sitting there watching it. It's just.
Sure.
And we got 20 minutes in. Actually, we didn't finish the movie.
And then we ended up actually just basically doing like a bio of ourselves.
Yeah, something like that. Which was not exciting, by the way.
No.
So I met Sean by the pool, right?
Did you talk about turtles?
Yep.
I love turtles.
You guys do a good job of reviewing beers. I mean, you guys get into some depths of flavor and aromas, and you do a really good job getting into those details. Are either one of you Cicerone certified?
No.
Just
No.
We're just fans. Just fans.
Just figured it out, huh?
Well, this is the thing is, Sean, I mean, we talk about this a lot in our texting and stuff. Sean is really, really good at steering the videos around and keeping them like in line. I'm really bad at it. On my solo reviews, they're really a mess. I'm really good at bouncing off Sean. Sean doesn't get nearly enough credit for for our channel. He really is like the soul of it. I'm just like sort of his goofy sidekick.
You're the color man.
Yeah, kinda. But what I realized is I saw something about that. Some of your senses are trigger like certain types of memories.
Yeah.
And so like Sean will sometimes be like shocked at some of the things they come up with. It's only because I start to think like, what does it smell like to me? Not like what does it smell like, but what does it smell like to me? And then I'll just remember like, dude, it smells like, and I'll name some obscure candy that I remembered from as a kid. And he's like, wow, yeah, you're right. I try to get to where the beer is hitting me personally, and it's a weird thing. It sounds like super stupid, but it really does. I get flavors in senses that bring me back to like when I was a kid. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I don't think that's stupid at all. I think it's really fascinating to see. I mean, because beer can do it. Smells, taste, music. You know, there's
right, yeah,
things that are memory associated, and that's really kind of neat that you're able to get flavors and and smells and stuff off of a beer that reminds you of something from your childhood.
Do you black out when it happens? Do you just like go somewhere and then you come back? You're like, what happened? And Sean's like, you did it again. It was genius.
That's why we have so many edits in our videos.
Yeah, it really like. I kid and everything, but like when it comes to the videos, I really enjoy doing them, but I only enjoy doing them with Sean. I don't like doing them by myself. I feel like Sean really just keeps everything great. He's good at like getting all the information, all the proper stuff out, and I can just sit there and just make jokes and be stupid, and it's like fine, you know.
Sounds perfect.
Can you see how big Sean's head is getting right now?
I'm like getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. No. He Mike is. This isn't going to be us fluffing each other up. This is actually our plan. We're just going to fluff each other up the whole time. No,
not my plan.
That's so different from this show.
We're like, very pessimistic when it comes to like certain stuff. Like his videos are fine. Like there are certain videos he won't let me release, but like we both have solo videos on. I've definitely done solo videos more, just because obviously I have the studio in the house. He didn't really have anything, and now he's going to have something, and he's going to be doing more solo videos so he can get better at it, right?
Yeah.
And
Sure.
Poke, hint.
Easier for me to come downstairs and just sit, because if he wants to do something at home, right, he has to set it up and get all the stuff set up. This is a basement. my wife thinks there's spiders. There's like 7,000 spider nests living down here, so she doesn't come down here. So this is always here. So if I want to do a solo review of like a beer that Mike doesn't like if it's a coffee beer, I can come right downstairs and do it. And that's what I've been doing the last couple of years. And it's just easier for me to do it. And I think that's what made me more comfortable doing solo videos. And I think it's just, you just need to do them more, man. Like you're fine in the ones you do, but I just think you're just like.
I could actually, I'd give you the same advice. I mean, when I started doing Friday morning beer review on my own, I don't think I was good at it at all. And actually, I had Adam's help to begin with. Yeah, it was terrible. I know. So I would actually record the video.
It tastes like beer.
Give it to Adam, and he would edit it and make it look good. And then we had we worked together where he would actually watch me while we were recording and kind of be like the behind the scenes guy.
Yeah.
And talk in my ear and kind of tell me how things are going. And by doing that,
lick your lips.
I got to
make eye contact with me.
Your lips look dry.
Look at me.
Look at my eyes.
But I got to the point where I was able to transition into doing Friday morning beer review on my own, and I do all the editing and everything myself. And they're not great, but I think they turn out pretty well, pretty nice each week. So you can definitely get good at it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but by you can get good at it. We mean
no,
Mike, not you.
No.
You're hopeless.
See, I got good at it. I don't know if I could do it.
I don't think so.
I need
you
to.
can barely speak a full sentence.
I have difficulty. Yeah, just saying small
walking across
words.
the street to my house.
Plus, I just I need to play off somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I get you. I'm good at bouncing off Sean. I'm really bad at bouncing off the wall. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
that's a good analogy.
Freeze up,
I like bouncing off the wall though.
I sometimes feel the opposite though, dude. Because like sometimes like I feel like you're leading a lot of the conversation. I think it's when we have guests, you lead a lot more of the conversations. Like especially when we have Kyle here or we're doing a Skype thing with Kyle. Like I feel like that I don't know. It is what it is. Like
no, I feel like sometimes like because I feel disconnected from the process. I really do sometimes, and I don't mean that to be crappy on myself. That sometimes in those situations I can sort of be on the outside looking in and realize that we are steering too far off course and try to bring it back in. But generally, like on our reviews, I really rely on everything you're doing the whole time. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, we don't talk about it that often in person, but that is how it is. You know, I'm good at bouncing off what you're doing. If without your structure, because you're giving all the pertinent information, you're giving the beer, you're giving the location, where it's from, you're giving the hops. These are things I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, I mean,
what's a hop?
What
That's
that?
in beer. Gross.
You're giving all the important stuff. I'm just someone said earlier, like I'm like almost like color commentary. You know, you're the play-by-play guy, and I'm the color commentary.
Yeah, you guys are fun and funny to watch. I was watching was it BFS 1?
Oh yeah, the Finback transmitter Pilsner.
Yeah,
yeah,
I watched that a couple days ago, and I thought that was really kind of a fun episode to watch. You guys were kind of like clicking with each other. I mean, obviously you know each other very well, so that was a fun episode to watch and funny. And I haven't watched a bunch of your videos, but those that I have, they turn out great. I think they're really good.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
So now how long have you guys? So now how long have you guys been doing the beer thing?
The beer thing. How long have we been doing it for?
A couple years. I mean,
yeah. So my daughter's going on 5 in September.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so we've been doing and we bought this house and we've been doing the videos maybe a year after we moved into the house. We bought the house, we moved in the house right when she was born. So we've probably been doing just the beer thing.
3.5 years.
3.5 years. Started the podcast when my wife was pregnant, so 4.5, close to 5 years.
Nice.
Yeah. And still like 3 subscribers, so you know it's just going up.
Look.
Well, this is the thing is I sort of sometimes I view the videos in Nerdsense in general as almost like designated hangout time.
Well, definitely 110% is. Like there's no way that we could get away with doing this weekly with our wives if we didn't start this 5 years ago.
Yeah,
Like,
it comes like, honey, I have to do the videos. Our fans want them. You know?
There's 4 people watching that demand this. and
I-
they have
All
to go do
4
it.
of them really,
They
really
allow
need it.
They know Fridays, like unless it's super, super important, like they let us we just hang out on Fridays and drink.
That was me
Yeah.
tonight. I had I work downtown, so I have a decent commute. So I come home, I go right to. I coach my son's baseball team, so I go right to his baseball practice straight from the train station. We do all that stuff.
They let you drink during that?
No, this was my first drink tonight. I wish I had to specifically sign something, and one of the things in there said I will not show up after I've been drinking. It's like, come on, I'd probably be a better
Wait,
coach.
so that doesn't say doesn't say anything about drinking while there. You just can't be drinking before you get there.
I think it's all drinking,
No one said that.
but
It's not explicit,
And it's not in writing.
It's not.
it is. Well, there is something in writing that I had to sign, and they background checked me and everything.
Well, I'm surprised
Somehow
it
I
passed. But
Yeah, I know. I put your name down, so
Did they breathalyze you?
no.
Before you enter the field, you got to breathalyze every
So-
time.
Urine sample.
I got home like a half an hour before we started, and kids are dirty, haven't eaten dinner. I was like, "Oh, honey, you do know I have a podcast tonight." She's like, "What?"
It's Wednesday.
She's like, "I didn't
Wednesday's
know that."
podcast night.
Like, Laura, we have scheduled guests. Like, this is important. Like, I can't not be there. Probably should say her name.
we have
We're
scheduled
professionals.
guests.
Yeah, we're being professional.
Do you know who we are?
Have you seen the studio?
We have 70 subscribers on YouTube. We're shit.
Well, I didn't pull that number.
Oh man.
I'm sorry, 77. Apologies.
Yeah, but every once in a while she does throw a dig at me, like, "So where's the YouTube money? What are you guys doing this for?" And it's like, you
the
know the
YouTube
answer
money?
to that. That was just you just being mean to be mean.
Just tell her.
My
tell her I'm
wife
pocketing
tolerates
all
this. I can't imagine how, honestly.
Hey, to be fair, Mike, both our wives have invested money into this. These coasters came from my wife, and I don't
That's
have
true.
it on me. His wife also bought us belt buckles, so
true.
Belt
we're technically the
buckles.
reason we're in the red.
100%. 100%.
Wait, red's bad. Yeah, red's negative.
Yeah, red's
No,
bad.
no.
Yeah.
They're not the
Reason why we're-
reason we're in the red. The other reason we're further in the red.
Yes.
Yeah, my wife keeps saying, yes, you can buy that equipment. And that's why we're further in the red.
Well, you're rich.
Listen,
Have you-
Sean and I haven't had brewers give us beer, but we have had brewers give us beer glasses.
That's a plus. That
Chad
was
is
the-
taking,
Chad just steals them.
Yeah, I just steal 'em.
Brewers beer glasses, and then apologizes for it on the podcast.
On the
and says
podcast.
it was an accident. but
I
it
stole this. Sorry.
completely was not.
We were at a beer fest and we went to the Spencer
Wait, you don't want to
brewery
hear
table.
how we stole glasses before you just tell the story how we got them nicely?
We stole glasses?
No, we're listening to the story about how they stole glasses.
Oh, did I interrupt? Is that story?
Oh, no.
I
I
apologize.
mean,
Oh, it's
Chad,
not much of a
No,
story.
Chad just
I
walked out of the tap room, got in the car. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's all.
I
I
got a
got.
story.
I
And
didn't
then
know
told
we were
everybody it
leaving.
was an
I didn't know we were
accident.
like leaving. I
See,
thought we were
the
just
same
outside
story. That's
to-
not true. That's
You know,
not
do
true.
whatever.
You could have
and-
walked
that's
25
not
feet to
true.
get it back.
and then they were like, "All right,
We're
you ready to
standing
go?"
there
I'm
at the
like,
back of the car, and he's like, "I'm gonna take this." All right.
Jesus.
Shoved it
Come
down
on,
his
Cap.
pants.
Always like,
It wasn't a fucking accident. I didn't mean to.
I didn't mean to,
Chad,
but I'm really
I'm
glad I
fine
have
that
it.
you
It's an
took
awesome
it. I wish
glass.
I would have took one. I'm just gonna say own it. That's all I'm
Hey,
saying.
own it, man.
Just own it. Don't act like you're some innocent. Like, oh, I
Jeez,
just
hey.
fell into the car and it was in my pocket, and then Adam hit the gas.
How'd she
That's
get
what
pregnant?
that's
I
what
fell
Adam's
into
wife
her-
does.
No, my wife hides them in her scarf.
Yeah, but she just hides them and accidentally falls into the car and then goes.
Gina's
Yeah,
a
we
little bit
were
of
at a
fucked up.
winery in San Francisco, and they had a really nice decanter. And I get up to
A
go-
Decanter, not just
How
a
big is
glass.
the
A
decanter?
decanter.
What is
It was like this.
A decanter?
Yeah, and I had to take a piss. So I get up and take a piss, and I come.
You pissed in a
This is
decanter?
the decanter.
No.
What's the story?
Yes. No, I come back.
Canter, piss.
Right.
That's how it works.
I come back, and my wife's gone, and my friends that was there with her, like, where did she go? And they all start busting up laughing. I'm like, what? She's like, well, she hid the decanter underneath her scarf and took it back to the car.
How big's your scarf?
Oh my God.
It's one of those huge, like, wraparound. I don't know, dude. But she's Chad can verify this. We'll go into places, and he'll be like, Gina, take this glass.
Yeah.
You slide her a glass for her to steal. She's a klepto. I mean, what can I say?
I
just wish you'd steal stuff
more glasses
better
in
than
my
that.
in my beer cupboard or whatever with that are stolen from Adam's wife.
Nice.
I wish you'd steal that car.
I was at a place in Portland, Oregon. It had it was a sort of, they had all sorts of beer that as you bought them, it was almost like a like stock market. More beers, a beer that was more popular cost more money. A beer less popular,
yes, I've
cost
seen
less
that.
money.
I was in Portland too. I saw that in Portland. Yeah.
And we left this place, and a girl we were with had a purse full of glassware. It was like 13 glasses. I thought the waitress was taking them. I was shit faced, but really she was just throwing them in her purse.
The waitress never where are your empties at? I don't understand.
Chad,
don't worry about it.
Chad took a bottle of CBS, put it right in a case.
Didn't we steal glasses?
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, Jake did steal a bottle of CBS. That's true.
Oh, that's right.
It's
He did steal a
overpriced.
bottle of
Whatever.
No, that's legit. But
that
stole a bottle of CBS.
That was their fault.
They had a bad system set up.
A bomber or a 12-ounce?
No, it was a bomber.
Bomber.
Oh, Jesus. How do you do that?
So the place we were at, we pre-ordered. And
paid a
flat fee.
And they gave you 2 bombers and some samples that they were going to have on tap that day.
Yeah. And then we walked, my wife and I were there first, and he gave us our bottles.
And then I showed up.
Then you showed up, he gave you your bottles, and then he's just
he saw that we were
I
together.
think I shorted you one or something, and handed you another one or something?
No. So, and then Chad was there too.
Oh, no, that's right.
So he saw that we were all together, and that we all had bought the package. So we had 8 bottles. So he gave us, a box that fits the 12. If you've seen that box that fits 12 bombers. And so we had the box, and we put all our stuff in there, and we're drinking at the bar because part of our payment was, these samples. And after everybody picked up, they said, "Okay, now that we're just going to sell what's left over." So we started saying, "Yeah, we'll take more," and then I just put it in
the box.
The box, and then we just walked out.
We just walked past the register.
We're walking out to the car, and
I smiled at the register.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Thanks.
Me and Adam and his wife were out standing at the car. Did he just fucking steal a bottle of CBS?
You're out there cracking up.
I'm thinking, bastard.
He comes out with a smile on his face, and we're like, he did.
And then I drank it that night with them, so I made them my accomplices.
I'll turn on your heartbeat.
You probably already have.
Yeah, that makes sense. If you steal a bottle, you got to kind of share your wares.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, we drank it that
I don't know.
Sean, have we ever stolen anything?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. We're good people.
I know how probably so.
Except the whole kitchen.
You haven't sold anything that you remember.
Right.
We're
too
good
drunk.
people too. Really good at stealing shit.
Yeah, apparently.
That's fair.
It's true.
I felt bad till we drank it. It was really good.
Felt bad till we drink it.
Listen, growing up, I was in the most horrifying white trash piece of shit family, and we would go to Texas Roadhouse, and my mother would steal the knives off the table, put them in her purse, every time.
Like a butter knife or a steak knife?
No, the steak knives.
Okay, at least
we had 30 fucking steak knives from that place.
Why did you need 30?
Because my mother was a bitch. I don't know.
I'm not gonna. You haven't met his mom. You should probably.
Where's Dr. Phil? We need Dr. Phil here for this show. So I did ask. Well, we do have a Discord channel now that we have people on, and No Hype Beer Reviews is there. And so I had asked. I said, if anybody on Discord had questions they wanted us to ask you, and of course he says he wants to know why No Hype Beer Reviews is your favorite beer tuber. That's what he wanted to know.
Oh, good call.
Yeah. That's all I asked. That's it.
Are you guys geographically close to Kyle?
Yeah. So
ish.
We're like 2.5 hours from him.
Okay.
More than that, isn't it?
He told us three something. I think last time we talked
recently.
about.
So, yeah. So he's in Albany, New York. We're Mike's in New Hampshire. I'm in Mass, so we're relatively close. I think Kyle to get to us is like 3 hours, 2.5, 3 hours now. But yeah, we are geographically close. So he's come down to us twice.
He stayed at my house once. No big deal.
Wow.
But he is your favorite beer tuber, apparently.
No, so
No,
my
no,
question,
I love that. No, no, he's not. No, that's
where
awesome.
where did he get that he's our favorite beer tuber? Like, well, mine at least. I don't know, Mike. Maybe he's yours. But
He's my favorite.
Mike has to say that he already is in a committed relationship with me. Stayed at his house.
apparently.
Fucking right.
No. Honestly, probably if I had to say, yeah, it probably is Kyle. Like he's probably the one I watch most frequently. He's just I don't know. You guys have had him on twice, right? Like
Yeah,
We know.
Kyle.
The eyes.
I think Sean's in love with Kyle, honestly. Just looks like he's like, well, you guys had him on twice, and he's just sitting there like, lovingly
jealous. He's jealous.
That we got to do a slow mo of that when we release it, Adam. Grab the slow mo. Hands on the cheek.
Yay.
What I like about Kyle's reviews is he's so unassuming. It's very it's almost like talking to your neighbor about beer. I think with me and Sean, it's like talking to your two drunk uncles you don't want to talk to.
The two drunk uncles you avoid at Thanksgiving.
Like we say like really bad jokes. I constantly refer to beer looking like piss. Like it's really just the worst. Like we're the people you try to pretend you don't know in real life. Kyle's he's has a realistic good people job, and he's has a normal family life, and I'm just this drunk idiot. Just my neighbors are embarrassed by me.
Well, I don't think that's true, but okay. But I think it's Kyle tries to keeps himself honest, which is the best part about. I think he was the first one of the newer beer tubers that I actually got into. Just because, yeah, he just, and it's funny because he tries to keep not swearing because of his profession, right? Thank you. I was about to say it. I knew exactly why you said it like that, because of his profession, and it makes sense. But yeah, it's just easier to watch, and it's just easier to digest. Not that other beer tubers aren't. And I get that his question was jokey, but I also don't want to short what am I trying to say? Shorthand or second guess Kyle as a beer tuber. He is one of the best because he's the easiest to digest and just listen to, and it's just not a lot of fluff. Not that everyone else is fluff. If that makes sense.
When you release this, can you put those hearts around Sean's head?
God damn it.
I love his cellar setup. That's what I like.
I love how Kyle used a comment on Discord to get all of us to promote his channel.
I know.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I hate Kyle. I hate him.
Everything I just said.
He has nothing but pretentious and all hype. It's all hype beer reviews, all right?
All hype.
Whenever we try
last
to
10 reviews are Coors Light. It's really weird.
Always wants on his channel. So it's just he's very selfish.
We hate when he comes over to Massachusetts. We hate it. It's the worst. He ate all my food. He talked shit to my wife. He's just an asshole.
I bet he clogged your toilet 10 times.
Twice.
Yeah.
But he wasn't there long enough to do 10 times. But he would have tried.
The 2 times he did take his shit, he clogged it. So. I can't wait for him
hilarious.
Can't wait for him to listen to this one.
I'm sure he would have turned it off by now.
Just like everybody else.
No
5 minutes in, who gives a shit what we say at this point?
He's just fast forwarding, just trying to listen for his name. He's like,
there's my name. There's my name. Yeah, his beer cellar is pretty cool.
Yeah, his beer cellar. When he started doing those videos, I was like, holy shit, I need to.
We told him this on the last one when he was on with us. That setup with the bottles all around in the basement, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's the setup. I feel bad because
He's got a pretty good stock.
all my cellared beers are just in random boxes in the basement.
Yeah.
I have like a Home Depot shelf, and then the rest of it is all in boxes. And like Mike and I, like usually twice a year, Mike will push me to try to catalog them, and then we'll catalog them. And then I'm just like,
kind of nerdy.
Yeah, trying to be a little bit nerdy. And then he comes over and he goes, "What'd you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I just was looking for something, and I just moved it all around." He goes, "You realize we like?" And then like we'll literally have like boxes and like organized numbers, and I'm like, "Oh, I moved stuff. Sorry." Not that it's like, and I do say it's my cellar, but technically he had a shitload of stuff in my cellar because he was living in an apartment prior, so like all of our stuff kind of is pooled together in my cellar. So I'm just a fucking mess.
Chad,
That is true.
Chad has a basement. You could do a nice cellar down there, Chad.
What's that?
You got a basement where you could do a cellar down there.
I could do an awesome cellar. Yeah, I haven't done enough with my basement. I've got tons of space.
I'm just afraid of my son. My son started playing airsoft, and I'm sure he's take that gun down there. He's gonna start lighting up some bottles. Yeah,
Chad, I didn't get to see your basement when I was there.
I know.
You didn't show me your.
He didn't want you to see the dead
deep
bodies.
down dark hole.
Oh God.
My brother lives in my basement, so I'm not sure how I'm supposed to work that out.
Don't take the beer down there.
But I do have this awesome bar at home. But if you look behind me, I don't know if you can see it, it's all action figures, like a big nerd.
Yeah, are those Power Rangers?
Those are Power Rangers.
Okay.
But I have like
Chad.
I have
Okay.
Batman and Power Rangers. I have no idea. I have a bunch of shit here. It's all embarrassing, honestly.
It's like massive beer reviews, but not beer. It's
Yeah, actually, yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good. It looks just kind of like it looks kind of like Matt's background, but
Yeah.
instead of beer, it's action figures. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, you have no action figures in your background.
No, I wasn't shitting on you. I have 9 action figures. I got this. I got my own set of shit back here.
Now, where'd you get the Sam Adams thing to your your left?
Like that's all your story. Actually, do you ever want to take this back since you have a house now?
It kind of works where it is. I mean, I can take it home if you want me to.
No.
If you want
You
me
can
to.
take it.
That's part of the
It
studio.
is yours.
I mean, it's part of the studio. You can't take it now. I mean, it's part of the studio. Come on.
Well, I was at a place called Drum Hill Liquors in Chelmsford.
What, Drunk Hill?
Drum Hill, sorry.
Oh, I
Drum.
thought
I don't
it
think
was
they-
Drunk
I
Hill
explained
Liquors
where-
too.
Drum
where,
Hill.
where Drum Hill is, because Drum Hill is like a small part of like a city.
Yeah, but the place is called Drum Hill Liquors.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so and I went in and at the time I was like going stupid crazy on buying glassware, and I have so much beer glassware it is embarrassing. But I went in and asked if they had anything good, and they pointed me to a direction where there was nothing good. And when I walked back, the lady said, "Oh, do you see anything you like?" I was like, "No, not really." And she pointed at that fucking Sam Adams tower in the back, and she said, "How about that?" I was like, "I don't know how much you selling it for," because they've sold them at this place in the mall for like $300. They're expensive as shit.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh, you can just take it." I was like, "All right, I'll take it." Fuck. So I just grabbed it off the back. I said, "Yeah, I'll take this home later." And I didn't buy any beer, by the way. I literally walked out the store with this fucking thing. And she just said her manager told her to just get rid of it. So
That's
I walked
sweet.
out. I met up with my brother who was across the parking lot at Popeye's Chicken. And I brought it to his car, and he's like, "What the fuck are we going to do with that?" I was like, "We're taking it home." And that was the end of that. And we have a bunch of pictures of me and him like Popeye's Chicken in our hands and this mug in the air. It was ridiculous. But,
Then he took it home, and then he showed up at my house and was like, "Hey, we're gonna put this someplace here." And I was like,
Yeah.
"All right."
yeah, no.
You need a
Sean
place
said,
to put
"Fuck
this."
yeah."
I don't remember what my wife's reaction was like. Where the fuck are you gonna put that? Maybe, probably. And I was like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah, it honestly, it's one of my
Right on
favorite
the mantle.
pieces down there. Honestly, like I like all of our crap because I mean most of it is Sean's. To be fair, it's most of his childhood toys that I keep threatening to steal, but he won't let me. But that big Sam Adams thing is just this nonsense that every time I saw it at that store at the mall, I said I cannot spend $300 on that foam crap, but for free, I love it.
This is more than foam, dude. This thing is hard as a. That's not
Whatever
foam.
it is. I haven't touched it in a while. I forget. But
You guys are inspiring me to rearrange my office and have a better background than my black curtains. I've got
that inspired.
I got a
Yeah.
beer shelf and
It's
some
like a
hats
floating
and some
head.
boat pictures. You might to move this around and
Yeah, I
do,
feel like
do the
it's
background
cool.
thing.
I like
It's cool to have some personality for me. Like I like having that stuff. You know, we do mostly beer, but I like that there's Power Rangers and Batman in our background and Darth Vader. It's awesome for me. Anyway,
I'm going to do it. I'm going to change things around.
I've had multiple people comment on how much they liked your office when we used to record
downstairs.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm
we're,
not.
just
I'm not
having-
moving everything again.
I'm not suggesting you move that stuff.
I'm
I'm
not
just
moving
saying
it
people
again.
really
Fuck that.
liked it. You know, just keep adding. Not that this isn't good.
It's easier though too in some ways, right? You don't have to worry about like having everything like in certain focus. Like the black background, it's just simpler to edit with too.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, but
I
sometimes
get
Chad looks like a floating head.
Yeah. If he wears a dark shirt, he
Yeah,
looks
I
like
know.
a floating head.
Especially if
the,
I don't have the overhead light on. If I got my dimmer lights on, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just my eyes.
sometimes when Sean and I are setting up our videos, like somehow the camera just gets moved and everything's like wonky and crooked. And with all our stuff we have in the background, it ends up looking really like lopsided. If all we had was a black background, it would make our starts way easier, I think.
Oh yeah, Friday morning beer review is super easy to edit. I mean, it's just there's nothing changes other than when my dog or
So your dog walks
behind
through.
this curtain. I got like a carpeted platform for my little dog to sit and look out the window. So if she jumps off and moves the curtain, well,
It looks like a
that
ghost.
screws things up. It does. I've got a couple videos that I play ghost noises when the curtains move. It's really funny. You should go watch them.
What about your other channel? Why don't you promo that while we're here?
Yeah.
What's that?
What about your other channel? You might as well promo that one.
Oh yeah, Wisco Boater.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if you're interested in boating videos,
He
Wisco Boater.
he built a mini tugboat over the winter. So
Really? How many?
9 feet long.
one of them.
I was out on it. I was out drinking on it this afternoon.
Nice.
I was in the Navy, so if I never saw a boat again, I'd be happy.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if all three of us got on that mini tugboat, it would sink.
It
It
does.
wouldn't. It would not.
Does
I
it take
guarantee
on
you.
water when you get in it, Chad?
Huh?
Does it take on a little bit of water? You were mentioned
None.
today that did it the first time.
It
Yeah,
did the first time
yeah.
because the tube that the explanation's too long, but yes,
Watch his video on YouTube.
yeah.
Mister.
It doesn't take on water anymore.
I know the battery like doesn't charge past 75%.
No, it charges past 75%. Just stays at 75% after I start.
So did it really charge past 75%?
Yeah.
No.
Chad, is that your first beer?
No, this is my 5th beer today. This is my second one for the podcast.
Okay, I've already sucked on 2 16-ounce beers, and I've had nothing for 15 minutes, and I feel like such an alcoholic right now.
I'm almost done with my second one. So you're not.
I've done 2.
Well, you said that. I'm gonna go get another beer.
I just don't have
need to-
anything good.
Go look.
Yeah,
at the
this
fridge.
is Edmund
Wheat
Fitzgerald
beer and
Porter
non-alcoholic.
from
Oh.
Great Lakes Brewing.
How is that?
on the left side.
It's
you
my
have,
favorite porter. I
Death
love
Star
it.
If you want.
What do you do?
Hey Chad, we changed our minds.
For what?
This is the
We're doing
good-
2017 veneration.
Veneration?
When it
17.
was-
You
when it
still have some
was-
17?
Yeah, I didn't know
Shut
either.
your mouth, both of you.
Fuck you guys.
Dirty whore.
What's veneration? It
So
sounds
veneration-
sounds
It is.
delicious.
Venerations is from Three Sheeps up in Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Sheboygan.
And he was the head brewer there. The owner was the first person we ever did an interview with.
Grant Polly.
Grant.
Oh, I think Joel was before Grant, but
Oh, that's true. But it's first brewer.
First
yes,
brewer.
correct.
This
Belgian style
This
quad
makes
ale with
such a good
figs
beer.
and molasses, aged in rye whiskey barrels.
so good.
It's amazing. 17 is
It
so
is
good.
a party. in
2017
your
is
mouth.
so good. 2018 they lowered the ABV down on it, and
By
lost,
like
Yeah, they went from
4%.
13 to 10.
it lost a lot of
Really?
the
Whoa!
Oh, I
big
think
difference.
they went from 13.2 to like
I thought it was 9
9.7.
something, but it lost a lot of its flavor.
Dicks. Yeah.
Did they mess up? Change the recipe? Was
We
it
asked
No,
him.
they did it on
We asked him. He
purpose.
said no.
Did it on purpose.
They wanted to make it a little more drinkable. They were afraid that. Oh God.
So good.
They were afraid that it had become a beer that
Somebody give me a towel. I need to clean up.
people only would like share or have on a special event, and they wanted it to be a beer that somebody would still drink on like a Wednesday night.
They want it to be a standalone rather than a shared beer.
Yeah, and they completely fucked it up.
Fuck, it's so good.
I mean, I still think it's an amazing brewery. It's still one of my favorite breweries, but this was like the beer changed completely.
That percentage drop is like it's not minimal.
It's a massive difference.
It's a big difference when you sit them side by side.
I honestly
which
I bought a 4-pack and I
Fuck.
couldn't. I didn't finish it.
Huh?
I gave a couple of them away. 17, there's no way I would have done that. 17, I would hoard them, but I drank them all.
Which one is that? 3-sheet
asking
cuvee.
for those types of beers because like you want to share them, like regardless of the like maybe you could, but even if it's a higher ABV, higher than or so what was the original, like you said 12%, 13%?
It was 13.6 or 7, I think.
What I guess maybe a Saturday night beer or like a Friday night beer, but like if it's 12 ounces, that's not it's not out of the realm. But even 9, I don't know. Why mess up the beer? Just maybe brew some other crazy beer that's around 9%, right?
Another one that they do that we really like that's different every year is the cuvee, and it's different every year. So they take beers from that year and then blend them essentially.
That's awesome.
So like this one was a 2018. This one has an Imperial Stout aged in second-use whiskey rye barrels, and another Imperial Stout with toasted coconut aged in second-use bourbon barrels.
Jesus.
A Imperial Black Wheat with coffee aged in second-use bourbon barrels, and then a Belgium-style quad aged in second-use.
And it's not like straight 25%. Like they do a variation.
Yeah, so like the first one is
blend
19%, the second one's 50%, the third was 25%, last one's 6%. So
what Firestone does with their anniversary.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and that it's an anniversary beer is what it is. It's their January release every year, which is the previous year's mix.
Where did you say they're from?
Sheboygan.
Sheboygan, Wisconsin. He can't say it right.
I do say it right.
That is the right way.
It is the right way. Sheboygan.
Yeah, because I think
they got
think
bubblers
Kyle,
and bigs.
Yeah, No Hype today posted that he
did.
A couple,
yes.
Beers too. Yeah,
He got
he
the
had
wolf.
Like a haul of 6 of them today.
He's got a buddy in Wisconsin that went there and got the wolf on release day. Motherfucker.
That's probably
the
my
wolf
favorite
is
by them
amazing.
now that they've
The wolf is really
neutered
good.
veneration.
I might have one of those.
It makes you think when it comes down to crazy, like just breweries that have crazy releases for
I'm
like,
robbing your
quads, or even just blends or any Imperial Stouts. When you think about what other breweries like Toppling Goliath are doing with like their crazy releases, like that with these smaller breweries that no one knows, they're making these crazy beers, but people, do you know what I'm trying to say? Like people just sleep on them, or they don't know about them because they're not as hyped or not as known about.
Yeah, and they can't. I mean, Three Sheep is pretty small.
Well, we had a
Their
brewery like
distribution. Three Sheep's distribution is what? Wisconsin, Illinois, Minnesota.
But their barrel age is already
maybe
popular
the northeast
enough.
corner of Iowa.
But their barrel age is already popular enough that it's a bitch to get the good ones. You gotta go there or be in their barrel age club, which has no openings.
The best breweries I know around here don't even have that kind of distribution, honestly.
Well, that's what I'm finding too.
I'm okay with that. You know, we talked a little bit about this about who was on. Oh, we're talking with I think Lakefront, wasn't it?
I don't know.
We were talking about distribution and why are they not in like southern states? Well, because there's breweries in the southern states that have great beer. So
the distributor, they'll go to, like, I use the example of Texas. He went to a distributor in Texas, and the distributor in Texas says, well, if I take you, then I got to drop somebody who does brew in Texas, and I don't want to do that. And so the distributor couldn't take them.
And Lakefront didn't want to go with a shitty distributor, so they've just been kind of waiting until they can, somebody good has an opening.
Now, this brings up... go ahead.
No, I was saying the two of the top breweries around where me and Sean are Treehouse and Trillium, they don't distribute at all. Like, you need to go to the brewery to get their beer.
So it's all carry out?
Yeah, everything.
They doing can carry out or just
both can bottles depending on what you're getting. But Trillium did distribute for a while.
For like a year.
gonna say, I think I've had
I was
some.
gonna say I thought I had some of them.
Yeah, they were just bottling, and then when they started canning, they brought everything back in house. Yeah, now they're definitely not doing it, which is a shame. But there's also so many other good breweries in the New England area. Like I think it depends in like you said, trying to find the right distributor, because there's a lot of distributors, especially I don't know what the liquor laws are out there, but around here that they're pretty archaic and bad. Like if you sign with the distributor, you're technically like signed for life.
Life.
You're the bitch.
There are a couple who are newer ones like Night Shift. So Night Shift, they're obviously a brewery as well, but they also have a distribution arm, and they're distributing a lot of the smaller breweries in the New England area, Maine, Connecticut, what have you. And I think it's Mike. What's the other one? Craft Beer Collective.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing like Idle Hands and whatnot. So I think it really matters who you get for the distribution arm. Like you guys said, like so out there, how is it distribution wise like to get craft?
I don't think it's great in our area. I mean, some of the ones that we get are the ones that are distributing themselves. Like, you know.
Well, I mean, we can get not all, I guess that's true.
The volume is never that strong. I mean,
you
everything
can always
kind of
get the
comes
usuals.
here, but you got to work a little bit if it's a release.
Yeah.
You know, there's never excess. You can never just stroll in. You got to like plan your fucking day around that shit. So do you think there's good breweries that you like in your area would distribute more if they had the right distributor, or is this a choice that they've made because they feel comfortable with their profitability and their growth right now with how they're selling?
I think it's the latter.
You
Yeah,
think?
no. Trillium and Treehouse don't need to distribute
really
at all.
So
They
that many
sell
people
out
are coming in to get it.
continuously.
Interesting.
It's interesting for Treehouse just because they're so far out there, and the allotments you can get, and people still line up in wait ridiculous hours. Trillium's way easier. They have 2 spots now. You can easily walk in, walk out. Like they just started online pre-orders for like bigger bottle stouts and whatnot, and like even some of their sours. Like I just pre-ordered something, you have a week to pick it up, and you can just walk in, walk out, and you can still get a shitload of cans. But they're still doing so much business in the brewery itself where there's no need for them to pay a middleman, right? But then there's small breweries in New England like Idle Hands, like Night Shift, but Night Shift is also like they've made the business decision where they're going to also be a distribution arm for the other smaller breweries. So like they've kind of taken it on themselves where they're just distributing themselves, obviously, but they're also distributing other craft breweries, not even craft breweries, craft seltzer, craft coffee, craft non-alcoholic beers. So it's definitely an interesting situation, but it also depends, I think, on the liquor laws of the particular state where you're in too.
Now, for you guys, and for us in Illinois, I think Wisconsin might be the same. You can self-distribute up until a certain barrelage amount, and then once you reach a certain barrelage, you have to go to the 3-tier system and have a distributor. It's the same for you for out there.
It may depend, right, Mike? Because I know when Trillium was doing it, they were distributing, as far as I know, by themselves, and then I think if they're distributing within state, it's different because I know the Alchemist, so Heady Topper, right? They're distributing in Vermont by themselves.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But they have some
states.
stuff in California and New York and stuff, and that's not through them.
Right. So to get into other states, they would have to have a distributor for that part of it. But locally, they could do self.
So it's like easier for So it's funny enough. It's easier for us to get Heady if we go to California or New York.
Yeah. Yep. Well, even with, like I said, Goose Island, it was easier to get in Texas and stuff. Now, talking about this brings up, I don't know if you guys saw today, but the Home Brewing Association released their top-ranked beers and top-ranked breweries. Now, this is voted on by those who are part of the Home Brewing Association, which I am, and I never got to vote, so I don't know how that happened.
You didn't get an alert?
I'm becoming a membership, and I keep subscribing to it. I never got to vote either.
Yeah, I didn't get a vote. I don't know. So, starting with beers.
Wait, Adam, do we know how many people voted? Does it say?
If it does, it's a lot of reading, and I'm not going to do that. So,
Okay, yeah.
I heard it was 4 people.
Yeah, exactly. And when I go through this list, you'll see why I say you're probably right. So the number one beer is Bell's 200 Ale.
Every year is that. I'm not sure why.
I don't get it.
How much are they?
It's a fairly run of the mill IPA.
Yeah, it's
not
good, but it's not great. It's
right,
not
it's
I
not
have never
over the
been
top.
impressed with Too Hard.
It's not amazing.
I like a lot of stuff that they do. I don't get it. Whatever.
Number 2 is Russian River Pliny the Elder.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Is this
Number
like,
wait till you hear number 3, boys. Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
That makes sense.
That's more solid than the other two.
Number 4 is KBS.
For real?
Number 5 is Heady Topper.
For real?
Number 6 is CBS.
Oh.
Tied at number 7. This one I'm like, what the fuck? Tied at number 7 is All Day IPA, and it's tied with Hop Slam.
So
What?
how is this voted? Is it just people voting, or is it like
My assumption is that
I do like Hop Slam.
I do too. I saw a ton of that. if you
Yeah, it
wanna
should
take
be
one.
way higher than 7. That's Hop Slam is awesome.
Okay, well let me finish the top
Hop
10.
Slam is. What's the word? Do you see not before awesome?
Oh, speaking of, I'm wearing a Hop Slam shirt. So that's time for number 7. Tied at number 9 is Founder's Breakfast Stout with Weldworks Juicy Bits. And then number 11 is Cigar City High Lie.
Highlight's
Honestly-
not that good either, but
No,
Honestly, none of these would be in my top 50.
Is it highlight all
beer
contract
where
brewed?
if you have it super
Not
fresh
anymore.
within like 2 weeks, it's fucking great. If you have it after
High
that,
Lie?
you're like, here is this. It's completely
Well, I
You
must
talking
not
about
have had
High Lie
it in
if it's
2
done
weeks,
that
'cause
soon?
is nothing impressive.
yeah. It's so strange. Like I've had it in all different variations. And I remember the first time I was so hyped and I was, this beer is terrible.
Now
And
a
I had it
couple.
once, 2
Cigar
weeks
City,
fresh, and I
right?
was like, "It's amazing." And then again, like
They don't
a
even
month
have a
old,
brewery, do
it's
they?
terrible. It's the strangest like.
So a couple others that are notable on here. For in number 12 is Three Floyd Zombie Dust, which I don't get.
I like the Gumball Head more.
Gumball Head I like better. Zombie
a zombie dust is old news.
It's the mystique of it, and people are still living off of that damn mystique, which there's none.
Mystique Zombie Death is also the Mystique Zombie Death is also Heady Topper. It's also probably well Hopsland's more available now, right? But
Yeah,
I
it's
think
not too
Heady
hard to
Topper
get.
still has Mystique to it. I think yeah, maybe because it's still I don't know it in CBS for sure because CBS is way more rare now.
Not
No,
in
right
Grand
here.
Rapids. It's all,
By the
go
way,
here.
yeah, if you
It's
guys
all
want
over
some
the place.
CBS,
We can get
PayPal
KBS
me
and CBS
20
right
bucks,
now.
I'll go get you some tomorrow.
I don't.
Really?
I could draw you
Yeah.
a bath of CBS.
I was at the store the other day, and they have a bombers of KBS, and then they have 6-packs or 4-packs of KBS on the shelf, like just with all the other founder stuff, like not in a special
Really?
section anymore. It's like we can get
Yeah,
KBS all the time.
Founders blew its load.
So I guess the most interesting thing about this poll would be the geographic, right? Like where are these votes coming from?
Exactly, that's what I was wondering too, because it's
California
Michigan
are
heavy.
end up at number 2. You can only get it in California.
Not now. The funny thing is, well, okay, I'd say not now. We just started getting notifications that it's popping up.
It's popping up by you
Yeah.
What?
in bottles.
No, not bottles. Draft only.
Draft
right now.
only. Okay, well that's still even you couldn't even get in draft a year ago. So
Yeah, because right now you could get Pliny only in Cali and Philly.
yeah, a couple years ago, my work's headquarters in Cali, and I was out there for work, and we went up to Russian River, and I bought a case of it and shipped it home because they still had Pliny. So one other notable here is that Goose Island Bourbon County Brand Stout is number 20 out of 25.
I would say that's fair.
I would say if I had to pick, it depends the year too, because I was
Yes.
gonna if you compare Bourbon County to KBS, sometimes
Bourbon County.
It's
this
better
past
every
year.
time. Fair enough. Good call.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 feels right if this list was good. But
Now here
There's way too many in the top 10 that shouldn't be in the top 10.
now here's the top breweries, which this will be no surprise now that you know the top beers.
Bells, Founders.
Bell's number 1, Founders 2, Russian 3, Sierra 4, Dogfish 5.
What?
But there wasn't a Dogfish beer on the top 25.
Yeah.
Dogfish, everything they make is pretty solid, though.
It is. No, it is. I just don't understand how they get a top 5 brewery when not one of their beers was even ranked.
Well,
They
how
base it
were they
off
based it on? Yeah.
I don't know.
visitation being there.
I think it's just voted on. I mean, I have no idea. Treehouse Brewing.
Oh yeah.
That's by you guys, right?
Yep.
Alchemist, Deschutes, Odell, Firestone.
Deschutes is something I drank a lot when I was near the West Coast. I've never seen any of their stuff on the East Coast though.
We can get it here.
Yeah, we get
I
it
don't
here.
I travel
Fresh
east
cheese is
every
pretty
once in
good.
a while. It's harder to find the farther you go east. Yeah.
We just started getting Deschutes like in small batches. Like I haven't even
Okay.
seen Squeeze, but I've seen a couple there.
Stone Brewing is tied with Firestone at 10, then Boulevard, Cigar City, and Waldworks at 12. New Glarus takes 15. That's pretty impressive for New Glarus having such a small
Yeah.
distribution. that they
Only in
do.
Wisconsin. It's
In
pretty
one
impressive
state,
that they
yeah.
can make that list.
Yeah. New Belgium, 3 Floyds, Lagunitas, Oscar
still
Blues,
Yeah, I guess.
Troegs, Troegs.
Trogs.
Troegs,
Yeah,
is that how you say it?
yeah.
Troegs?
They're out a little outside of
Hershey.
Harrisburg. Pennsylvania.
Lagunitas shouldn't be on that list at all.
Yeah.
I was actually going to say that. I was like, should Lagunitas be technically counted considering they're 100% owned by Heineken at this point?
Well, Goose Island's on there. Goose Island's number 24.
Fair
I
enough.
don't even think Powder should be in there.
So then Avery Allagash, left hand, Goose Island, and then Surly.
It's funny that Allagash is so low on that. I guess low on the list. Because like they're Allagash they make some really great shit. Maybe they just don't get enough distribution, but like,
I mean, I think aren't they? They're national.
right?
We,
Do you
we can get Allagash, right?
Yeah,
we
can.
get Allagash.
like, do you get good Allagash or? Well,
Well,
I guess it's not bad.
What's a good one?
We get the
Do you get like
Allagash
the
one.
Curio or any of their barley stuff?
No,
I haven't seen the barrel aged
Nope.
stuff. No.
I do not. I like the
They have
triple.
good sour stuff. They're really good.
Yeah, if you're just getting Allagash White, then maybe that's why.
Allagash White, Allagash
Yeah.
Triple.
Oh, the
The triple's good.
I like
Yeah.
the triple. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not seen any of their barrel aged.
Oh, yeah.
Curio is one of my favorite things they make. Curio is awesome.
Never seen that here.
We may have to change that and send you some.
Please. We can
Yeah,
do an
it
exchange.
is. I mean, I can get the Curio at like Trader Joe's here. I
Yeah,
mean, it's really easy to find.
That's a barrel aged one?
I don't-
Curio.
I don't even know
What
what
is
you're-
what is Curio, Sean?
Curio is their barrel aged. Was their barrel aged wild?
I don't think it's a wild, but it's outstanding. So yeah, we'll try to get you some. It's great.
It was just.
Now, do you guys get any Revolution from Chicago?
I
Yes.
just pour it.
What
Yeah.
do you get in their barrel aged stuff?
So we get it, but it's very sporadic, right, Mike? Like sometimes we'll get certain stuff, and then other times,
Well, we get it as often as your cousin sends it to you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
well, Mike, he hasn't sent it to us in a while, like 2 Christmas.
Yeah, and I've hated them since.
We're about to crack the Revolution Death Star.
Oh, we actually have a bottle still in the cardboard from like years ago before they started canning it.
I was gonna
We
say,
have-
like,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
but I haven't had it since it's been in cans. I have seen it. Well, no, I have seen that some stores got it. By the time I got there, it was gone. Revolution stuff, it's always been one of my favorite. But since it started getting distributed here, because I was always bringing it back a lot from Chicago, because that's where my cousin was from, and once it started getting distributed here, I was like, oh, it was one of those things like, okay, I'll get it eventually, and then all of a sudden, all of it's flying off the shelf.
Yeah, it's quickly become one of our favorites for barrel age. I mean, so how I even found out about their barrel age program is that it was a couple years ago when CBS and KBS were the big thing, and then there's actually Josh Knoll, who we interviewed on the show. He wrote an article for the Tribune, Chicago Tribune, where he was drinking all of the Bourbon County against the Revolution, and I think he did it with 5 other beer experts, I guess, and Revolution beat out Bourbon County on almost all of them. And I was like, oh shit, I got to get this stuff. And so we hunted him down, and we did it, and
Yeah, that's when we started paying attention to Revolution.
I think
a
that's
lot.
what we liked it even better.
Yeah, I assume that you guys have had their straight jacket.
Oh yeah, I got some. I got some in the basement.
Blew us away.
Oh, that's awesome. It's. I got to keep these guys away from my basement because they'll steal it if.
And I'm
Take
gonna
it
be
down
there
there.
tomorrow night, so
Favorite
keep an eye on
brewery?
it.
I will put some in the
Revolution's my
fridge for you,
fave.
but you're not taking all of it, motherfucker. I'm the beer hoarder in this group. I have so many beers, it's not even funny. So these guys are always trying to steal my
Oh,
shit.
fuck.
Shit,
No,
I can't hold on to it.
And I like.
I'm actually probably. I think it's probably better that I have it, Mike. Right? Because like there are times where like I'm like I'm not gonna drink this. This is a special occasion, special occasion, special occasion, and then like the beer just sits there for forever.
I'm sorry, but holy shit, this is good.
Oh,
And is that this year's
no.
17.
17? Shit. When did they start canning then?
I mean, I've never had it out of a bottle.
Oh, shit.
They
Then-
started.
Oh,
they-
Jesus.
Mike, then what's our bottle?
I thought it was 2017. I thought.
Well, probably 16. I think 17 was the first year they started
Yeah,
canning.
because I've never seen it out of a bottle.
Ours must be like 3 or 4 years old. Shit.
Yeah, no, I
yours
don't think
is
so.
old.
I mean, I bought mine in Belmont.
Yeah,
And
but
the first time I went there was like 3 years ago.
yeah, but Belmont.
Oh, 2016.
Yes.
All right, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's 2016, maybe the last time they bottled. Yeah.
So maybe we should open that like 2 days from now. Drink it Friday.
Drink it.
Let's do it.
Drink that
Now
bitch.
you go back to Chicago, Sean. Have you ever been to Revolution's Tap Room?
Mike.
Yeah, it's
14.6.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
I love that. Their food is
14.8.
their food is really good. Yeah, I went there, and then Jake and I went there. Did you go there, Chad? Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I've been.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I
went,
ate there twice.
And you
Yeah.
know what? It's great because it's one of those places. I hate when you go to a brewery or a brew pub and it's the same shit you can get anywhere. It's one of those
Yes.
places where you go there and they got all the shit you've been looking for and you can have it right fucking there. And you're just like, thank you. Thank you for making this trip worth it. Oh, and the food's delicious as
You know
well.
what? I might just drink the rest of this, like all the cans I have this weekend, because this is fucking
so
good.
good.
I don't know why the hell I'm saving it in my basement.
What are we saving this for?
See? That's what I'm saying. You drink it. I can't hold on to it.
But then it'll be gone. No one any more to drink.
Have you guys been to Half Acre?
I
You were
have
there?
not, but I like Half Acre a lot.
That was the hands down
They're
the
Danish
best
Moors.
brewery tour I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, I really want to go there. I haven't been there yet either.
They have like one brewery tour every Saturday, and I don't know if it's different now. This was like when I visited my cousin 2 or 3 times ago. It was probably like 3 years ago. We got in, and there were 2 spots left, and I was there with my cousin, and then his buddy and another buddy who was out of town. And we got up there like there are 2 spots left, so they put us together. Like my cousin, and his buddy were like, "Well, you've never been here," and then his buddy's never been here. So like, you guys just go together. It's gonna take like a 3-hour tour. You
3-hour tour.
you get a pint glass, and you literally just drink like 3 pints and whatever for like 3 hours. And we're like, okay, I guess we're gonna become very good friends now because we've never met. And so my cousin and his buddy just went off and drank while we just hung out at Half Acre, and it was one of the best brewery tours I've ever done. It was like,
Yeah, that's one that's on my list. I mean,
We have a competitor for Lakefront for best brewery.
yeah,
tour.
Lakefront so far has been the best brewery tour I've ever been on. But if you ever go to Lakefront up in Milwaukee, they have 2. They have a regular tour, then they have a technical tour where they get more into the brewery process for those like home brewers and stuff. So it's really cool if you're like that, which we homebrew, so it's like you're geeking out on that shit. But then what they've added onto it is after the tour, you sit down and they do
Pairings.
a pairing with food, with one of their chefs. And then when we did it way back in the day, I don't think they still do it, but they did a food and then chocolate.
Yes.
So like you have this
And it was a
food,
different beer with every.
and then they bring out this chocolate with all these different beers. We were fucked up by the time we left that.
And they're already refilling your beer on the tour.
Yeah, the tour, halfway through the tour, they have another bar where you refill. And,
And
it's just,
then
oh
we
my
get
God.
done with the tour, and they give us like vouchers for a local bar.
And we stole glasses from there.
So we went to the bar.
I still have those
drove over
glasses
there,
downstairs.
drank there, stole their glasses.
Big
We're
Steve.
bad people.
Big Steve was stealing
Big
all the
Steve
glasses.
is bad and hilarious.
He was hilarious.
There's a theme among us, isn't there?
We need to go to some counseling.
like we're just gonna start seeing glasses. Apparently, it's easy.
Yeah, it's so easy.
I refuse.
Trust me, I have a big package. It's all it is down my pants. No, it's
Fair enough.
Yeah, we're gonna get off later. They're gonna be like, these guys are a bunch of fucking assholes. To report their asses. But yeah, Lakefront, fantastic, and I had so much fun with that pairing at the end. And we sat down. I was like, I need some food.
Yeah, right now. Yeah, that was a fun one too. Yeah, Half Acre. I've got to get there. We just had. Is it called Bottom or Bodum, whatever that one is? That one's really good.
Yeah.
Their IPA, that was good.
I have not had something by Half Acre that I do not like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daisy Cutter is my pale ale. That
It's
they do dinosaurs,
Oh,
right?
Jesus,
Is
that's
that
good
Half
beer.
Acre, or am I an idiot?
what?
Well, wait, those are two questions.
Yeah, that's a hard one to answer, sir. It is written and told that Half Acre's Daisy Cutter is what turned Chicago into more of a craft beer city, away from the lagers and pilsners and the old style.
This is in the scripture.
Yes, the scripture according to.
Adam just gave me one by them called "Beer Hates Astronauts."
Oh, that's so fucking good.
Fucking tastic.
That's a.
I opened it and I could smell it. And I was
That's an
like,
annual
"Oh."
release, right? It's not a yearly. It's or not a year round. It's just a one time. That's Beer Hates Astronauts really good too. So
Beer Hates Astronauts.
yeah,
Is that Half Acre?
it's Half Acre. Yeah, it's one of their. They release it every year, from what I was told, and I think the dude from Porsche Drinking told us about that, right? No, he told us about Bottom.
He told us about Bottom.
Yeah,
Bottom.
Bottom, whatever it is. Yeah. So, what are some of your guys' favorite non-local breweries?
Tunas are good.
What are ones you guys are always looking for? You know, or you see it in the store and you're like, oh yeah, they're going to be good, and you gravitate toward it.
Wine Stefana.
Yep, Ryan Stefana. Honestly,
Where the hell is that? I haven't even heard of that one.
I haven't either.
Ryan Stefana. They're the oldest brewery in the world.
Germany.
They're widely distributed. They're everywhere.
I need to just make an apology. Dino S'mores is off color brewing. My fault.
Who talked about dinosaurs?
I don't know. I just
Nobody said dinosaurs
I
this whole
did
show.
because I'm an idiot.
God, dumbass.
Sorry. Go ahead, gentlemen. I apologize.
You're fired.
Yeah,
Every show, every single show.
If you go into my beer fridge, I mean, it's Trillium, Treehouse, Alchemist. It's all places that are driving distance for me. I don't really buy too much at stores. I'll buy it's like Jack's Abbey or something at stores, or like Sam Adams sometimes, but it's mostly Trillium, Treehouse, Alchemist. What else is in there? I don't know. There's a place on the street, Spyglass. I'm such a fucking snob.
No, I don't think we're snobs. We're just fucking spoiled in regards to where, like, regardless of the direction, east, west, north, south, what direction we go to, we can get to a brewery within an hour and a half, right?
Yeah,
Like,
we have that. Jake and I do. Well, Chad does too. But the breweries around us, I don't necessarily think are the greatest.
oh,
I
no.
get you.
Mike and I do have some breweries around us that are like 15, 20 minutes. When Mike was living up the street from me, we had a brewery that was 5 minutes up the street from us that neither of us have been to together. We've been there separately, but we've never gone back.
Yeah.
It's I'm not gonna give the name away because it's mean, but it's terrible and the beer sucks. But their location is so cool; it was worth going once in a while. But
We had a place that was, I don't know, half an hour, 45 minutes away, and we had their barrel age series, which was one of those barrel age series was
Crystal Lake. You can say it.
Okay, Crystal
Crystal.
Lake. So, Mike, maybe I think it was you, Mike, but maybe it was Sean. What you were saying is like sometimes there's really good beer that just hasn't got the notoriety yet, and it's if you just pay attention, it's not too hard to get. So they have this Boathouse series, this barrel age series that is fantastic, really expensive, like $30 for a 4-pack, but damn good.
It's right up there.
They had a barley wine, a barrel age bourbon stout, a barrel aged rye stout, all of them just top notch shit. So we're like, all right, let's get together. Chad came down. Let's go check out their brewery. This is
We'd never been to the brewery. We'd
Never
hadn't had any of their other beers, just these.
Yep, just these. So we drive there on a Friday night. We get there.
Well, number one, it's a Friday night and the place is dead. There's like 10 other people besides us in there.
Yeah,
It still looks like a Hardee's from the outside.
It's true. It does.
yeah.
Or like a dollar store, really.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jake.
And I mean, again, it's one of those breweries, sort of like Bell's, if you've been to Grand Rapids, where there's nothing special there that you can't get anywhere else. Okay, whatever. And then we just started drinking their regular beers. They're sticking a big biscotti in my beer. Biscotti. Like, what I just got crumbs all in my beer, and it's not even good. Like, what am I drinking? And
I'm so upset by the biscotti.
it's just, I don't know. It was just such a
It was
disappointment.
a disappointment.
Well, was the beer supposed to be at least tasting like a biscotti beer? Or
It
no?
was some stout that they had made where they just shoved in like a biscotti the size of like a just fucking.
It was no.
12-inch.
The biscotti was so big they had to lay it across the top of the glass. Like, it was like 6-inch or 8 inches long biscotti. And it's like, and the bartender
Just made
gives
me
it
feel
to us.
inadequate.
Right. She puts the biscotti across the top of it, and Jake's like,
What do I do
what
with
the fuck?
this?
She's like, oh, you dip it in the beer. Like, what? Anyway, it was all their other beers were very unimpressive, and that was one that I haven't reached out to interview yet because I don't know how to say. Hey,
So
your beers weren't that good.
yeah.
I mean, the
it
barrel aged
wasn't.
series is amazing, but everything else.
Now
nah.
Chad will buy and drink their other beer
And you're gonna say
just because it has boats
Boat.
on it. Chad's
Wake-
got a
wake-
boat boner.
Both
what is-
boners.
what is it? Wake.
Wake setter, wake maker, wake maker. It's
That's
up there.
their like 4% one, right?
Yeah,
So you can drink it and still drive your boat.
that's what I got to do.
Yeah.
I got to
I
drink
got
it.
it. Over my shelf, I have a bottle of Shellback rum, and it's really terrible, but it says Shellback on it, so I bought it. Navy guy is what it is.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if you put a boat on your beer and or have any
Well, it
sort of
smells like Bean Spirit. Had a tugboat on it,
nautical-
so he got that.
Yep.
nautical name.
I get it, man. I
Because
get
it's
it.
brewed with
Chad will
tugboat
buy
coffee.
it.
It has nothing to do with.
It wasn't a bad beer either. It was
No,
actually,
that was a
it
good
actually pretty
beer.
good.
You guys drink that one?
I
Who does that?
brought mine over. I don't know if you still have yours or not.
still have mine.
But we split. We
Who-
split it. It
who
was-
did that one?
It was very good. Great on the nose. Great smell.
Shut up, Jake. Chad, who did that one?
It was microphone.
Microphone. That's
Yeah,
good.
microphone.
Why
Yeah.
don't you ask me,
Scott-
asshole?
Because you don't remember half the stuff anyway.
I got one wrong tonight, ish.
All right.
Well, guys, I know it's getting late for you guys out there on the East Coast. So, where can everybody find you guys?
The website nerdsense.net is kind of where we started. YouTube.com/nerdsense is also another good spot, but I'd say nerdsense.net is probably the best spot because we have everything kind of aggregated there. You can get the podcast, you can get all the new YouTube posts, and there's the jumping ground to our Instagram and all that good stuff.
There's also a couple of old blogs Sean wrote like 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Sweet.
Blog posts. I think, Chad, you wrote a blog post one time.
I wrote one or two.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think only one of them actually went on the website.
But you don't
Yeah.
read. How do you write?
Yeah, I know. It's hard for him.
Do you guys have like a thing where like at least one of you all the time says, "I'm going to start writing more blog posts"?
I think I say that to myself all the time.
There was a phase. Is that still? Do
Like,
you
I
still
should-
say that to
I do.
yourself?
Every now and then I'm like, man, we should write something. And then I sit down, I'm like, I don't want to fucking write a damn thing.
I tell Sean this every 6 months, and then I don't do it.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's-
And the funny thing for us is, I mean, I worked in aviation. I was a professional pilot for 12 years, and then I worked for an organization for general aviation pilots. But I've got I think 13 published articles in magazines.
Wow.
So I like writing,
I fly planes.
but I can't. I've done this one blog post and I can't get myself to keep
right.
writing.
I feel like planes.
I enjoy it. I just can't get myself to do it.
Plane.
Yeah.
it's hard because you have like a lot. Just life gets in front of so much shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's true.
Oh yeah. So I mean, yeah. We all have full-time jobs.
And if I
Kids.
sit down to write, I'm like, I'd rather just go sit in the garage and drink,
Play with my tug.
play with my tugboat.
What kind of figures that I'm terrible at my job. I'm terrible at beer reviews. I'm terrible at writing songs. I don't need Sean to see terrible blog posts I keep writing, you know?
I'm terrible at my job. I'm terrible at everything. That's awesome.
Yeah. Basically, I've been a professional fuck up for like my entire life, so it is what it is.
If you guys haven't noticed, Mike's the contrarian of our friend group.
Really? What?
What? I haven't picked that up.
I like the honesty.
Yeah.
It's not so much contrarian, it's just honest. You know?
Like, I'm not terrible. I'm just pretending, if that makes sense. I'm pretending to be a professional.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm definitely
It's all an act.
Yeah, I'm not professional at all.
Well, you guys have been absolutely a blast to hang out with. We got to do this again because I feel like we could just keep hanging out for another several hours easily.
On a Wednesday, I would just be like, I'm just going to go back in the fridge and just bust out some bombers and just drink by myself.
Let's do this on a Saturday afternoon sometime.
I'm going to keep doing it. I mean, I keep drinking.
Together, like all in one place, and then Mike and I will get together all in one place, and we'll just like
Let's do it.
Easier.
balls to the wall.
We have to record that. That'll be a shit
Or we're
show
all
and a
gonna,
half.
or Mike, we're all gonna stay at your house and get close.
Mike's house.
Mike's house.
I'll do that. Everyone will just go to New Hampshire. Let's do it.
Don't tell my wife. We'll just have to,
It's for the podcast.
I don't know how we got here.
We'll just
Doing
show
the
up.
research.
We're here for the podcast.
It's very professional.
Mike said we could be here for the podcast.
We're getting the YouTube money.
Hey, honey, can I have a sleepover with my friends?
What? I sleep naked. What's the big deal?
No, this was awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Hang on.
Hey guys, stick around after the outro.
We'll do.
We're the three best friends that anyone could have. We're the three best friends that anyone can have. And we're always gonna hang out.